Hej och välkomna. Hello and welcome to this live stream. Hey! Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hi, guys.
Hi. How are you?
I'm Anik. This is Ben, my fiance.
Hello, Anik and Ben. So you're in Minneapolis, right?
We are. Yeah, we're in South Minneapolis.
Cool.
Where are you right now?
I'm in by the Nordiska Akvarellmuseet in Skärhamn, where it's very raining right now. I want to show you what it looks like out there, which is by the ocean.
Oh my. It's beautiful. Look, you're like right there.
Yes.
You could go for a swim.
Yes. Yes, I'm actually going to do that just after this stream. I'm just going to jump out the window here. And
I love it.
But so here's the deal. You sent me a story, and a bunch of people sent me stories over the last 2 weeks. And I have been turning them into songs. All of the stories have been about things that have happened during the pandemic. And I'm explaining it to you. You already know, but there's a lot of people watching the stream right now. So just sort of turning that into the narrative here right now. But you're from Minneapolis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where your story takes place as well.
Yes, it does. Yeah, we've had a wild summer in this city, and I know the world has had a wild time. And we had a big moment yesterday concerning the trial. So we're feeling good, and we're feeling like there's more work still to do.
Yeah, I'm glad that happened yesterday and wasn't happening today. It feels like a good time right now. So yeah. Because your story touches on this a little bit as well. So well, I'm just gonna jump right into the song if that's all right.
That's great. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And if I'm gonna look over here because that's where the lyrics are, just so you know.
Okay, that's great.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This could be turned into a song, but I'll try. All last summer I just worked to get by. To have a job was a privilege. My fiancé had lost his. I felt myself fading, disappearing into a mist. Like I ceased to exist. I wrote in my journal that I felt like a camping tent. I could hold everyone inside me and protect them. But right now I had to hold myself back and fold myself up into a backpack. Turned into music, but I want to write about it 'cause I don't want to lose it. summer night I walked to the top of a hill. It was August, a few months after George Floyd had been killed, a few blocks from where fires burned and blood was spilled. In the city where I live, it felt peaceful and healing to just sit there quietly among families playing and listening to Neil Young. Watch the movement of the sun. I wish I could have shared it with everyone. So that was your song.
Thank you, Jens. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sending it in. I think what I liked about it was that the line, I don't know how this could be turned into a song. And then you told me this story that basically just made me start crying. There was like a vagueness or like a doubt that was fragile in a way that I liked about it. So I named your song, I don't know how this could be turned into a song.
It's so beautiful. Thank you. It really means so much because I don't, but you just proved it.
I did, yeah. It was a great story. I gotta get to the next person, but thank you so much and stay in touch.
Thank you. We will.
All right.
Have a wonderful day.
Take care.
Yes.
Bye-bye. All right. Stacy is the next person. Here we go. Hello. Can you hear me?
There it is. Yes, I can hear you.
There you are.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Just, yeah, it snowed here. So I'm confused that it's April.
Where are you?
I'm in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Cool.
Yeah.
And it just snowed?
Yeah. It's melting now, but it was really strange to wake up and see all the snow on the ground. It was weird.
Huh.
But that's the Midwest for you. It changes all the time.
I see. Huh. So are you, your story is about a dress-up challenge that you were doing during the pandemic.
Yep.
I liked your Instagram account, by the way, where you've been posting all your outfits.
Thank you.
What was your Instagram handle, by the way? I can't remember.
It is Stacy with an IE sells river.
Stacy with an IE sells river.
Yep, my son's name, because I sell him apparently.
Yeah, of course. Well, I think everyone should go check that out. So let's see. Are you ready for your song? Are you dressed up right now, by the way?
Well, I am dressed up in one of my grandma's old house coat, and then also just representing my Asianness, my quarter Japanese-ness with this shirt too.
Yes,
so.
That's nice.
Yes, I'm dressed up as myself, which is strange. A strange thing to do.
That's out of the ordinary right now for you. Are you dressed up every day?
I was doing it weekly. I think I started with Spice Girls and then decided to do other TV shows just to I don't know, keep myself busy and to know what day of the week it was. But I sort of gave myself a break this year a little bit. I do it when I feel inspired by something now. I thought about dressing up as you.
That would have been amazing.
Be on the lookout.
Yeah. I just wonder what that would, yeah. Actually, don't do that. That would be weird. Okay, I'm glad that you're wearing your grandma's, what was it? Is it a shirt or a coat or something?
It's like a traditional Japanese like house coat.
Oh yeah, right.
That she used to wear. Yeah.
That's nice. It looks good on you.
Yeah. I thought she needed to be here too because it's about her too.
Yeah. Well, I'll jump into your song now.
Okay.
Are you ready? Sporty Spice on Monday, Agent Cooper on Tuesday, Cookie Monster on Wednesday, Frodo on Thursday, a new costume for each day helps me to get by. Magic superpowers or a weakness for cherry pie. I watched the news on TV, dressed as Log Lady. Is it still 2020? I'm short on costume ideas, with masks covering our faces. It's getting hard to breathe. It's hard to see if someone's smiling. It's hard to see if they grieve. And I lost my grandma, who was so important to me. My strong Japanese grandma, who was always there for me. We cleaned up her room, and I packed up all her clothes, stroked the fabric gently, held them under my nose, and in the search of Asian hate crimes, from Brooklyn to Atlanta, I wanted to celebrate the life of my strong Japanese grandma. I used a wig from her apartment and the dress that she wore when she became an American citizen, and I slowly transformed into her.
Oh, that was so wonderful. My heart is just exploding. I don't know what else to say.
Oh. Well, it was a beautiful story. I really liked it. And it got even better when you sent that Instagram account and I got to see all the dresses and all the costumes you've been wearing. That was great.
Yeah, she had a lot of great clothes that, it's funny, they smell like mothballs. So when you were saying to smell them, I thought of mothballs.
Oh yeah. I took some creative liberties there and just imagined that might have been what you were doing. So, yeah. What was your grandma's name?
Her name is Yoshi.
Yoshi?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
That song was for Yoshi then, and for Stacy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. You're a beautiful human. Thank you for doing this. This is great.
Thank you. Well, I gotta get to the next person now, but I'll talk to you soon again, I hope, and see you
so too.
when all this is over in Ohio, maybe.
Yes. Hope so. Come back.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, Stacy.
Take care.
Sunny. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Can you hear me all right?
Good, how are you? Who is this?
Yeah. Cat Pigeon. I thought you would love to listen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cute.
With the pandemic option, I adopted him back last March.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, he's been with me through the whole thing, but I may have to mute later on because so he doesn't freak out and start interrupting.
Oh, really? He's a very vocal cat?
Yeah, he likes to sing. He's always talking.
No, don't put it on mute. Actually, maybe he wants to sing along or jam with me. Let him do that. Because for your story, I just loved your story so much that I decided I'm just gonna read your entire letter over some chords, more or less. There's not gonna be a lot of singing. So if he wants to join, it could use some singing on it.
Okay, I'll leave the audio on.
And where are you, by the way?
I'm in Chicago. Yeah. I moved here right before, back December 2019. So, right before all this started. I used to live out in Maine on the East Coast, and then it's kind of crazy to move to a new city and then have all of this happen. But it's been a crazy year, but I feel like I was in the best. I liked being here for all of it, even though it was hard sometimes. But
yeah. I think you're the third person calling from the Midwest. There's been a lot of stories from the Midwest for some reason. So that's pretty amazing. All right, well, I'm just gonna jump into your song if that's all right, because it's gonna be a long one. But I think I love the way you described all the flowers in your story. We'll get to it.
Okay, I'm excited.
Chicago in the winter before the pandemic, but I previously lived in rural Maine for 2 years, working on a farm. As soon as the pandemic started, I worried I'd made the wrong decision by moving to such a big city. I think there's a great difference between the experiences of those in big cities and those who live elsewhere during the pandemic. Being in Chicago through this gave me a heightened sense of responsibility to others around me that I don't think I would have had if I lived elsewhere. That sense of responsibility sparked my interest in botany. I was trapped in my small neighborhood anyway, so might as well learn about who and what I shared my space with. I wrote to you already about the compass plants that I discovered last summer growing around my street. But that wasn't the only flower that was special to me last year. In the earlier part of the spring, before everything was in bloom, it was harder to identify a plant species. But one of the first I remembered identifying was shepherd's purse, named so for the little purse-like seed pouches it grows in late summer. It's sort of a weed. You can find it growing in almost any sidewalk here, but I like how evocative and folksy its name is. I also grew fond of other native Illinois flowers like Jack in the Pulpit, Aunt Lucy, and Blazing Star, all of which transported me to the prairies, wide open spaces just out of reach. I love taking my best friend Emily out for walks and pointing all these flowers out to them. As long as I've known Emily, they've been associated with sunflowers. I don't know where that connection originated, but they have so many sunflower items around their house now. It's part of their personality. Whenever I see sunflowers growing by a road in the summer, I'll take a picture and text it to Emily. When I saw the compass plants for the first time, I thought of them instantly. They look kind of similar to sunflowers, and like Emily, they're also native to the Midwest. One morning I brought Emily to the patch where I found the compass plants, and I read aloud a passage about them from a Sand County Almanac by Aldo Leopold. What 1,000 acres of Sylphium looked like when they tickled the bellies of the buffalo is a question never again to be answered, and perhaps not even asked. And what Emily said in response was, are buffalo really that tall? Compass plants are definitely taller than buffalo are. But I guess that was the answer to Leopold's question. They must have leaned under the breasts of the buffalo like seaweed in a current. When he wrote that line in the 1940s, Sylphium was almost wiped out. But they've since rebounded. And we both felt really lucky that they stuck around for us to see. Recently, Emily texted me a photo of some pages of their diary from March of last year, where they pressed the petal of an orange tulip we found together, alongside an entry about what was happening with the pandemic at the time. Emily is the closest person to family that I really have, and it's incredible to think of what we had endured together. From the early months where we could only FaceTime, to the summer when we kept each other safe from police at the BLM protests, to spending Thanksgiving and my birthday with them at their beautiful new apartment. We've been by each other's side through all of this. This past weekend we went on a camping trip in Indiana together with her girlfriend Isabel and our mutual friend Ray. We spent hours in the woods discovering trillium, ramps, Dutchman's breeches, and Mayapples together. These escapes into nature, whether for a weekend or for a few minutes in the park, feel especially essential to our connection. The most difficult part of the pandemic for me was the separation from Julian, my boyfriend who I split from. Flowers are a big part of any couple's relationship, obviously, but Julian has always been able to name plants on sites, probably from his experience working as a florist. Recently, the reawakening of spring flowers, while beautiful and hopeful, has made those sad memories come back to the surface. The feeling of love I still have for him always comes before the realization of what transpired over a year, and all the regrets that come with that. This time last year, when I was first meeting all the nature around me, the two of us were trying so hard to make things work. This year's spring bloom feels like reuniting with old friends. But there's just one less familiar face around. When he first came to see me when we started long-distance dating, he rode a 20-hour bus from Michigan to the East Coast with flowers for me. It was amazing to me that despite getting tossed around for so long, they were only a little wilted and bounced back when I got them in water. I don't want to get corny with the metaphors there, but when I think about the pandemic ending and us seeing each other again, that's the image that comes to mind for me.
So much. But it's just so like moving to hear that, like what I wrote to you about and hearing you sing it. It's like so beautiful. Yeah, I have to say.
Thank you. Yeah, I like the story so much. I love that Aldo Leopold quote. It just worked so well to sing that. It was like is it from a song or something, or?
It's from this book that I actually got back, I think like the winter in January before like the lockdowns happened, and it's like a book on, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It's sort of like a book about like nature and like conservation, but it was written in the 1940s, and it was kind of like one of the first books to talk about like protecting wildlife habitats, and it really focuses on, I think he lived in like Wisconsin, so a lot of it's about the wildlife of the Midwest and the prairies and plains. Reading it like right after I moved to the Midwest was like, yeah, I don't know, it was really special to me. And then I kept kind of rereading it throughout the past year, and like that quote like really spoke to me. So yeah, it sounds beautiful when you sing it.
No, it's beautiful. Did the cat enjoy it, by the way?
He loved it. He was so quiet. He was just listening, I think.
That's good. I got to get to the last person, but it was great having you along, and keep writing.
Thank you.
Loved your story.
Yeah.
All right.
It was so beautiful. Thank you again.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right, last person. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Hi. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. Lillian?
Yeah.
Cool. And where are you?
I'm currently in residence in my dormitory in New York City, but I'm going back home to Canada in a few weeks.
Right. So, and where in Canada are you from?
I'm from Toronto.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, you're the only one who's not from the US, but you're in the US. From this, so many stories that came in from the US and a few from Canada. Anyway, because my email ended up in your spam folder or something, right?
Yeah, I was absolutely mortified when I got the follow-up email from you and saw that the original was sent like 5 days before. I freaked out, so I scanned every single email that had been sent to me, like looking for it, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure if I was gonna get a hold of you before today. So this was something that I basically wrote yesterday very quickly. But I think it turned out pretty all right. I just really liked your story. I think it was very touching and also kind of funny. And
I'm glad that you liked it.
yeah. So are you ready? Cool. My story, my 2 cents might be a little insignificant. It is the story about a pickle. I got COVID in October and I had to stay over at my university's quarantine. I wasn't worried about myself, I'm in pretty good health. As I stepped into the dormitory, but I couldn't turn on the heat, I couldn't get any sleep, and a 3 a.m. thought sneaked up on me. Who may have been exposed to me? How do I call my family when they're living in another country? So when a knock on the door was heard announcing breakfast had been served, I could hold myself together barely. I stumbled to the doorway in my sterilized duvet, and I stared at the food left in the hallway. And this is what got me. They gave me a pickle, milk and cereal, and an itty bitty pickle. Not a full pickle, just a quarter of a pickle, cut twice in half in a Ziploc bag, and I couldn't help but laugh. But then the tears started to trickle, I couldn't help but cry for my 70-year-old father who couldn't go outside, for my mother and her asthma, for all the world's grandmas, for the dead and the dying, the people I feared losing, for everyone and everything, but most of all I cried for the pickle.
Treated the pickle a lot nicer if I knew it would have turned into this.
Well, it turned into a good story, so that's good.
It did, yeah. This is probably one of my favorite stories now, I think.
But I think I had a similar story myself. I mean, just that way where you sort of hold everything inside of yourself, and then some random object will just make you lose it. I think for me it was a frozen pizza that I couldn't heat because of technical problems. So I totally relate to that story.
Yeah. It's the littlest things. It's like having a bad day and keeping it all together, and then you stub your toe and it's like, oh, that's it, we're done, we're over the edge now.
Yeah, I think we've all been trying to keep it together, and then tiny objects just make us lose it at some point.
Yeah, everyone's had a pickle this year, I think.
Yes, I like that. I think we should end it with that. Everyone's had a pickle this year. With milk and cereal, that's just the weirdest combination.
It was really gross. I ate it because I was really hungry, but it was really gross.
All right. Well, I gotta end this now, but thank you so much for sending your story and for being part of this. It was great.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful. Have a nice day.
And I'll see you in New York or Toronto or something when all this is over, I hope.
Hopefully, yeah. Okay, bye.
All right, bye, Lillian. All right. Oh, thank you so much for being part of this live stream. Tack så jättemycket för att ni har varit med.